Peace and blessings, everyone. Whenever I can, I don't know, I guess I try to analyze things, occurrences, analyze them in a way to look for the truth deep within and to really try to understand the importance, or really just try to get to the truth and the importance in my existence, the importance as it relates to the world, the world condition. And I guess it would be considered a spiritual thing, and trying to figure out my connection to it, its connection to me, the connection to the world, and what it means in the big picture. Give you examples, of course. This weekend, I had the playoffs for my middle school basketball team. We lost in the first round. Now, generally, when I coach, my demeanor is pretty laid back. I don't get into all the getting upset and fussing and yelling at the kids when I'm coaching. I don't get upset and fussing and arguing and yelling at the referees when I think they didn't make a call and made a bad call. I try not to get upset and caught up in if I happen to be getting blown out by 30 points, because I believe there are more important things in the world than to be getting, all bothered and upset about it. Then the time the game takes place, people are dying, children are dying. So I always try to keep that in perspective. Try to keep everything in perspective, and I know, I believe, maybe it could affect my effectiveness as a coach if I believe that things more important, then maybe I'm not giving my all to the basketball. I believe I am, or at least a great majority of myself to it. I try to do my best as a coach. I try to teach, the kids the fundamentals of basketball. I try to be a good coach, and I try to learn what that means to be a good coach. Is it necessary just winning? Does winning make you a good coach? I don't believe so. Just because you win, I don't think that makes you a good coach, and just because you lose, I don't think that makes you a bad coach. Because and then once again, if you look at the truth, it's just so many little things that goes into that. A coach has to have players to win, and I think in that dual relationship between players and coach, I think more so the players have to do with winning than a coach does. I think it's more important that a coach has players than the player has a coach. You could take the worst team, say in middle school, the most non-athletic, and have Phil Jackson coach them against the best team that has all these athletes together, and I still don't believe he'll come out on top because he needs athletes. So somewhere in there, some things might change. I think really coaching matters when it's about level. The playing field is about level. The talent is about the same. Then that's what coaching comes to, the strategy and whatnot, and adjustments, things of that nature. But ultimately, you got to have players to win. So, so it's all that. So once again, I believe that the way I approach things, it doesn't take away from my effectiveness. And the more important thing is, I try to get the kids to understand that I care about them more than just being basketball players, because there's more important things. I try to teach them lessons that are about life than just about basketball. And sometimes you can apply things from basketball to life, whatnot. But I try to be more thoughtful and philosophical in my approach and how to do basketball. And of course, it's not understood a lot of times by kids and by parents, but it is what it is. But so we lost, and so in losing, now in losses, it weighs my mind at times. You know, 'cause as a coach, I think, what can I do differently? You know, how can I make adjustments for the next game, things of that nature. But what I want to focus on is the fact of the feeling inside of not being successful, of disappointment, and always examine those feelings. Always examine the feelings of being disappointed in things in this world, and figuring out, is it important? What is the importance of being upset about something? And something I've been battling for a while now is the fact, if I should be coaching, because once again, the time I'm putting into coaching is time taken away from doing something else that I feel is more important. Just the many issues, the suffering in this world. So, it's just a battle within me. It's just a constant battle of what I'm on, because I enjoy coaching. But, same thing. I think it's more important things to do. But then in examining the things that I feel are more important is work condition, then I'm faced with the things, I made videos before about. I come to you, I believe, with a solution for this world condition. But if you don't accept it, then what all can I do? What more can I do? Then I get into the mindset of there's more I got to do on that end. And then what can I do? What should I be doing? And then I start thinking about, well, once again, I'm getting caught up in this world. So I'm always in this constant battle. So right now, I'm wondering if I'm going to coach next season. All right, because then I want to, am I looking for happiness in coaching? I enjoy it, but ultimately, I guess I'm thinking the ultimate happiness is going to be from winning a championship, as it is for most coaches. But is that true happiness? And why would I find happiness in that? Why do people find happiness in, say, winning? Should you be finding happiness in that? Should you be happy that you won? Or, Orlando Magic won, Eastern Conference last night. They're all happy. And, Dwight Howard, thank God. Of course, athletes always thanking God for their wins, and God being the cause and reason for their winning or whatnot. And it's just that, what is the truth of that? For saying that, thank you, God, for winning. God, matter of fact, he said God was the cause. He said something to that effect, that God won them, that it was all because of God they won. And I made a video about that. So God, I think your game is more important than some child dying. So, but whatever. And it's not whatever, but it is whatever, because it's people not focusing on the truth. Dwight Howard not focusing on the truth. I believe maybe he is. I believe he's not focused on the truth. He's not focused on the more important issues. But I can't get on him when I might be doing the same thing. So once again, I make sure I examine myself. I examine the truth of my thoughts and what it is, and make sure I come back to myself and judge my own self, judge myself in truth. I try to constantly do that. I try to. So, and then another situation happened just this morning. Supposed to be going to the movies today with my two daughters. My oldest daughter, she doesn't live with me, so I figured a way to. She's 16. She'll be 17 next month, or June. Today's the last day of May. And so I was trying to figure out a way, just to create something to constantly see her. Now that she's a teenager, she's not really that worried about seeing dad. When she was younger, she would always come every weekend, every 3 weekends out of a month or not. But she came a certain age, I let her decide when she's coming. So of course that went down a lot, because she always has things to do, going to parties and whatnot. So I decided, well, what I do is, whenever horror movies come out, because teenagers like horror movies, that me and my two daughters, we go see a horror movie. It's a way of me spending time with my daughters and with my one daughter that isn't with me. So we're supposed to do that. Well, my youngest son, who is an aspiring actor and model, he's supposed to go to his class today. And it turns out that my daughter was going to go with my wife to go to this class. And so it's going to conflict with the time it's supposed to be going. And so, I basically reminded her, so, well, ain't supposed to go to the movie today? And it turned into a choice. I didn't think it was a choice decision. I thought we had pretty much it was understood, it was known. She might have forgotten, but we was gonna go to movies. And then she decided for whatever reason that she wasn't gonna go, that she was gonna go with my son. And so of course it was a disappointment, like I said, because it was, it was a deeper reason. I was just trying to, maybe create something like, tradition. Me and my sister always go to movies, blah blah blah. So it was a disappointment, and I told her such. But then I had to examine why I was disappointed at. Why be disappointed because my daughter changed her mind? Well, of course, I think it's natural, because because then I have to question, well, why did she change her mind? I asked her and she gave me a question of kids. I don't know. Generally, I don't accept it. I don't know because it is known. They know it. They're gonna tell it, but I don't want to push it. So I just okay. I just told her I was disappointed, and I left it at that. But in my mind, I wonder, why it is that she changed her mind. Exactly. Why would she do that? And so once again, I started examining my feelings of why disappointed and why be, because once again, there are more important things in this world occurring. There are people out here who have experienced more disappointment than just their child doing something that might hurt their feelings, or somebody. There's somebody suffering more than me suffering of being upset because my daughter, she flaked on me or whatever it is. I'll tape running out. So like I said, I always examine that, and I look at it, and it's sort of I want to separate myself. I believe I'm coming to a point where I'm working on to separate myself from this world condition. Why have emotions for this world condition? And I think back to Star Trek and Spock, and how everything is about being logical, and in a way, that's the way I look at things. More of examining things. The truth is, my daughter changed her mind. She didn't want to go to movies with me, so why be upset? And that's what I was trying to do. So it's always trying to be an acceptance of truth, and in accepting that, I don't believe it's necessary to have emotions in that. Okay, my daughter don't want to go to movies, so it's fine. So I move on. My team lost in the first rounds. My team loses. Okay, that's fine. Let's move on. Something happens to me. Okay, it happens. It's fine. Let's move on. And staying in truth and removing emotions. And one of emotions is necessary at all if it is something that is a weakness of ours. Even love, because love is a subjective. I believe, love is an aspect of God. My trinity of unconditional love, uncompromising truth, and unequal belief. But love comes second to truth. Love is something that is subjective. It is something that is defined in different ways by different people. But if we try to define it in the best way that's possible, I think it has its benefit for us in this world. Generally we love somebody, try to take care of them. So it's more of an action, it's feeling, than these chemicals and these emotions, because you never know if my love, the feelings of love or whatever it is the same as you hold when you say that you love somebody. We just don't know if that's the same. And once again, we just give them a title, a word to whatever it is that we feel. Connection with somebody or something, even objects. You can love objects. So, what is the value? If I can love my car, and people do love their cars, they cry over the car gets destroyed or something. If you can love an inanimate object, then what is the value of love? You can love it the same way as you love another being or whatnot. Just like I said, so just examine truth. So, like I said, I just think I'm on a path to just being a constant. Basically like Spock, well, it's not logical, it's illogical. And so burying to bury feelings because they can't get away of thinking logically about things and examining things in truth. Because ultimately, what is its importance? in a larger scheme of things, in a world scheme of things. God bless everyone. Peace and love.